By the end of World War II, an Indian man was awarded Hitler's highest military honor for his service to the Nazis. He was given the Iron Cross and £2.5 million in current value to destabilize the British Raj. But at the very same time, his British handlers in MI5 called him Silver, their most valuable asset on the Afghan frontier. And to complicate it all, his journey into this world of shadows began with an act of pure Indian patriotism, saving the life of India's most wanted freedom fighter, Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose. But here's what makes this truly insane. He wasn't just working for the Nazis and the British. Add the Soviets, the Italians, and the Japanese to that list. 5 intelligence agencies, 1 man, all happening simultaneously. The story I'm telling you is about one man who was a decorated Nazi agent, a top British spy, and a nationalist hero. The story is about the only human who spied for 5 countries in human history. This is the story of the Indian spy Bhagat Ram Talwar, codename Silver.
Chapter 1. The Wound. And to understand how someone becomes capable of deceiving 5 nations at once, we need to go back to 1931, where it all began, a torture chamber in British India. Inside, a 23-year-old man named Hari Kishan Talwar is being systematically destroyed. British interrogators force him to lie between blocks of ice in the dead of winter. They smash his head repeatedly against stone walls until blood pools on the floor. His crime? On December 23, 1930, during a university convocation, Hari Kishan Talwar stood on a chair and opened fire on Sir Geoffrey de Montmorency, the British governor of Punjab. The chair tilted. His shots went wide. In the chaos, he killed a police officer before being overpowered. The British want names, information about his revolutionary network. Hari Kishan gives them nothing, not even when they sentence him to hang. On June 9, 1931, they execute him. He's 23 years old. Witnesses say he walked to the gallows with a smile on his face, singing revolutionary songs. 25 days later, his father, devastated and broken, dies in jail from grief and shock. Watching all of this unfold is Hari Kishan's younger brother, a 23-year-old named Bhagat Ram Talwar. This is the moment that creates the spy. Bhagat Ram doesn't weep. He doesn't rage. Instead, something cold and calculating takes root inside him. If the British killed his brother for one failed assassination attempt, imagine what he could do with deception, with a mind instead of a gun. He joins the Kirti Kisan Party, a communist peasant movement in Punjab. But unlike other revolutionaries, Bhagat Ram has a gift. He's a Hindu Pashtun, fluent in the languages and customs of the northwest frontier. He can move through tribal territories where others would be killed on sight. And at 1941, this rare talent makes him the perfect man for an impossible mission. Chapter 2. The Great Escape. January 1941, Calcutta. Subhas Chandra Bose, Netaji, one of India's most iconic freedom fighters, is under house arrest. British surveillance teams watch his every move. But Bose has a plan. Escape India, reach Nazi Germany, get weapons and support, return to liberate India from British rule. It's audacious, nearly suicidal, and the most dangerous part, the 200-mile journey on foot from Peshawar through hostile tribal territory to Kabul, Afghanistan, requires a guide who can navigate that deadly frontier. They choose Bhagat Ram Talwar. The disguise is perfect. Bose becomes Muhammad Ziauddin, a deaf-mute Muslim insurance agent on pilgrimage, to not accidentally reveal his Bengali accent. Talwar poses as his nephew and secretary, Rahmat Khan. The journey is hell. They trek through the Khyber Pass in bitter cold. Talwar navigates past British military camps, through Afridi and Shinwari tribal territories where outsiders are routinely killed. Bose, maintaining his deaf-mute act, can't speak even when suspicious tribal chiefs demand he prove he's Muslim. Talwar talks them through every single time. When corrupt Afghan police demand bribes, Talwar pays. When Bose gets dysentery from bad water, Talwar finds medicine. When they're lost in unmarked mountain passes, Talwar finds the way. After nearly 3 weeks of this nightmare, they reach Kabul in late January 1941. Talwar uses his contacts to approach the Italian embassy. The Italians are impressed. Within weeks, Bose is on his way to Berlin via Rome. India erupts in awe. The man who helped Netaji escape British clutches, Bhagat Ram Talwar, becomes a legend. What nobody knows, not even Bose, is that Talwar's real game is just beginning. Chapter 3: The Spy of 5 Countries. After Bose leaves Kabul, the Germans and Italians see opportunity. This Indian who guided Bose has contacts across the frontier. He hates the British. He's perfect spy material. They recruit him, give him money, radio equipment, invisible ink, and a mission. Build a spy network in India and report on British troop movements and ignite rebellion. Talwar says yes. But here's where it gets weird. When Germany invades the Soviet Union in June 1941, everything changes. The Soviets, now allied with Britain, need intelligence from inside the Axis powers. And Talwar, as a committed communist, followed Moscow's ideological line. Moscow instructed Talwar to leak German intelligence, which they shares it with the British. And that's how the British find out about him. Enter Peter Fleming. Yes, that Fleming, the elder brother of Ian Fleming, the man who created James Bond. Peter is running covert operations out of the Viceroy's gardens in Delhi. When the Soviets offer him an asset who's embedded with the Germans in Kabul, Fleming can't believe his luck. He gives Talwar the codename Silver. Now think about what's happening. Talwar is working for the Germans and Italians who think they're their man. He's also working for the Soviets, who think they're their ideological comrade. And he's working for the British, who think they're running him. But wait, there's more. When Germany coordinates more closely with Japan in 1942-43, the Japanese also start paying Talwar for intelligence. 5 intelligence agencies, 5 masters, 1 man. And here's the kicker. Talwar makes the Germans believe he's built a massive spy network across India. Hundreds of agents, saboteurs, informants. He sends detailed reports about railway sabotage, troop movements, British strategic plans. It's all fiction. Every word were written by British intelligence, transmitted by Talwar. The Germans are so impressed, they award him the Iron Cross, Nazi Germany's highest military decoration. The audacity is breathtaking.
But being a spy for 5 countries isn't just about sending fake telegrams. Sometimes it requires bloodshed. Kabul, 1943. An Afghan man becomes suspicious of Talwar's cover story. He starts asking questions. The kind of questions that could get Talwar killed by the Germans, the British, or the Afghans. Talwar's solution? He invites the man to dinner. He serves him curry mixed in with tiger whiskers. When swallowed, they cause fatal internal bleeding over several days. Untraceable. Looks like natural causes. The man eats. He dies. When Talwar reports this to Peter Fleming, his tone is chilling. It was the last meal he ever ate. No emotion, no regret. Just cold operational efficiency. This is who Talwar has become. Over 4 years, he makes 24 round trips between Peshawar and Kabul, nearly 400 miles on foot each time, through territory where he could be killed by British patrols, German agents who suspect him, tribal raiders, or Afghan police. Each trip, he's carrying intelligence for multiple agencies. One slip of the tongue could mean torture and death. And the money? The Germans alone pay him what equals £2.5 million in today's currency. Add the Japanese, Italian, and Soviet payments, he's extraordinarily wealthy. So where does all the money go? Talwar sent every penny to the Communist Party of India, funding their publications, their operations, their revolution against both British imperialism and fascism. In Talwar's mind, this makes sense. He's not betraying India. He's using fascist money to fund India's liberation. He's deceiving the deceivers. But there's one problem with this logic. The people he's deceiving aren't just Germans and Japanese. They're also Indians.
Chapter 4: The Betrayals.
Here's the part of the story that will make you difficult to celebrate Bhagat Ram Talwar as a simple hero. After Bose escapes Kabul, Talwar holds detailed knowledge of the Bengal Volunteers Revolutionary Network, their plans, their members, their communications. This is information he gained because these revolutionaries trusted him. They thought he was one of them. When the Kirti Kisan Party aligns with Britain, Talwar starts feeding information about these revolutionaries to British intelligence. The consequences are devastating. Satya Ranjan Bakshi, arrested, tortured by British interrogators. Hemachandra Ghosh, arrested, brutal physical abuse. Jyotish Guha, arrested, sent to Delhi fort, dies under torture, refusing to give up information. Let that sink in. Talwar's brother died under British torture as a revolutionary, and now Talwar is sending other revolutionaries to that same fate. But perhaps the most heartbreaking betrayal involves a man named Uttam Chand. Uttam Chand was a shopkeeper in Kabul. When Bose arrived, Uttam Chand sheltered him for 43 days, risking everything, even his life, to protect India's greatest freedom fighter. Talwar feeds information about Uttam Chand to British intelligence. Uttam Chand is arrested, deported from Afghanistan, his 30-year business destroyed, his life ruined. For what? For patriotism, for loving India. These are the moral costs of Talwar's five-way game.
Chapter 5: The Vanishing Act. When World War II ended in 1945, Bhagat Ram Talwar simply disappeared. He collected his final payments from various intelligence services and vanished into the wilderness of the Northwest Frontier Province. After partition in 1947, he quietly resurfaced in Uttar Pradesh. For decades, he lived as an ordinary man. Almost nobody knew the truth. He took those secrets to his grave when he died in 1983. Only in the 1990s, when classified intelligence files were finally declassified, did researchers like journalist Mihir Bose piece together the full story. And what a story it is! The only human in recorded history who spied for 5 countries while truly serving none, except his ideology. Sometimes the most fascinating stories are the ones that resist easy categorization. And here's a question for you. Was Bhagat Ram Talwar a patriot or a traitor? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what you think.